Hello everyone, welcome back to Practical Mistake. Once again, I am Maria. This time, this is not about tarot reading session, nor anything about English lectures or quantum physics. This topic is about the narcissist, okay? I already shared to you who the narcissists are, and so this time, my topic is about the three different types of narcissists. So let us begin. The first is the overt narcissist. The second is the covert narcissist. And the third is the malignant narcissist. Okay? So that in your life, in your everyday encounter with these narcissists, at least you know already what kind of narcissists they are. Okay? So the first narcissist is called as overt narcissist, spelled as OVERT. Narcissist, overt narcissist. They are also called as grandiose type of narcissist because in terms of appearance, they are very confident. They are typically outgoing. They are confident, they can get along with others, they have a strong personality. However, they are very arrogant since they are the grandiose type of narcissist. And they are charming because of that strong personality type. These individuals have an inflated sense of self-importance. Okay, so this kind of narcissist, they are very confident, they know their worth, they know their potentials. However, they have an inflated sense of self-importance. Okay, because of their ego, they are still egotistic. They are also the kind of narcissists that seek important admiration and feel entitled to special treatment because of their grandiosity. They know their worth, they own their power, their authority, and so they feel entitled to have special treatment. So basically, the overt narcissists are openly proud, they are dominant because they have this authority, power, they know their worth. They are proud because of their egotistic nature and self-exalting, meaning they know their skills, they know their capabilities, they know that they deserve the admiration from others. They are entitled to special treatment. And also, the overt narcissist, overt, take note, overt, meaning it is shown that they are very confident, they know their worth. However, they are egotistic by nature. That is something that makes them a narcissist. Okay, so the archetype for this kind of narcissists from the Bible are the snakes. The snakes are one of the dangerous creatures in the Bible, and they are going to allure you. They are going to deceive you. That is something the narcissists will do to you. Okay, that is one of their manipulative skills. So the snakes can be seen from the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 4. It says there, they spit venom like deadly snakes. They are like cobras that refuse to listen. As I said, they are very egotistic, very grandiose type of narcissists. They are self-exalting, self-centered. They know their worth, they know their capabilities, and they believe that they deserve special treatment. And so, they are like snakes that can confidently crawl in the base or in the soil, and they rise up with confidence, with power that they have. And because of their self-absorbed personality, they refuse to listen. They never know how to listen. They never know how to understand. What they know is more about themselves, that they listen to their own voice only. Okay? And another verse which can be found in the Bible is that the book of Psalms, chapter 140, verse 3. Their tongues sting like a snake. Yeah. The snakes have a tongue. In fact, at the tip of their tongue is diverted. And the venom of the viper drips from their lips. Interlude. Meaning, the qualities possessed by the narcissist are, they can deceive you with their words. The overt narcissists are like the snakes that they can deceive you through their words, the power of their tongue. Take note that the tip of their tongue is diverged. Meaning, they can tell lies and they can also tell the truth. So whenever they say, the content of their message is half truth and half lies. Okay? That is one of the manipulative skills of the overt narcissist. For example, in the Bible, particularly in the book of Genesis, that when the snake, not really snake, but it's a creature, a dreadful creature who happened to meet Eve, and this creature told Eve that if you're going to eat the fruit, you will not be dead. Instead, you by the time that you will eat the fruit, you will know the wrong and the right, or the righteousness and the wrong deeds. Okay? So it's like through the power of their tongue, they're able to deceive people. So that's an example for a overt narcissist. Okay, so another living examples from the Bible, which can be example of overt narcissist, is the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh in Egypt. He was a Pharaoh who refused to listen to God and hardened his heart. He repeatedly hardened his heart every time God sent miracles in Egypt. The more God sent plagues in Egypt, the more he hardened his heart. He believed in his own absolute power and authority. He is an overt narcissist because he know his power, he claimed his authority as a Pharaoh in Egypt. And he is a narcissist, overt narcissist, because he ignored the sufferings of the people in Egypt and he resisted the changes. He does not have empathy, he does not have passion or mercy for people who experience sufferings during his reign as a pharaoh. He is an overt narcissist because of his extreme pride and arrogance. That the more God sent plagues in the land of Egypt, the more he hardened his heart. For he has the desire to control and have dominance over the people of Israel. Okay? He lacks empathy or mercy for these people. That is what makes him a living example of narcissist from the Bible. And the second type of narcissists are called as covert narcissists. If the overt narcissists are very confident, showy, take note of the word overconfident. The covert narcissist means they are covered. They do not have confidence. What they're going to do is just to show up full of illusions, just to make people feel that they have this kind of personality, showy personality, but in reality, they do not have confidence, they do not have power within themselves, they do not have self-identity. They do not even know themselves. They do not know their worth. That is why they are called as covert narcissists, meaning hidden narcissists. They look humble outwardly, but inside they are very egotistic. So it is like they are the wolf, the hidden wolf in sheepskin. The covert narcissist is someone who still has the narcissistic traits. They are self-centered. They only focus about their self in terms of their needs, their longings. At the same time, they do not have feelings for others. They are emotionally unavailable for other people. They do not have mercy. They cannot feel compassion for people who are in need. And they are also desperately need the validation from other people. They are longing for people's appraisal, validation, and acceptance. Okay? And however, instead of being loud, being obvious, being confident, they express it in hidden, passive, and indirect ways. Okay? So that is why covert can easily be memorized by associating it to the word covered narcissist, because covert narcissists are the covered wolf, the hidden wolf under the sheep's skin. And they appears as humble or insecure on the outside, but internally they are driven by pride, envy, or self-focus. Meaning to say, both the covert and the overt, which is very confident, grandiose type, and the covered or the covert narcissist, the hidden insecure, what makes them similar is that they have pride, they have envy, they are envious people, and they are self-absorbed individuals. However, the slight difference between these two, again, overt is overconfident, the grandiose type. The covert is the hidden wolf under sheepskin. That is why it can be associated to the word covered. Covert narcissist is a covered wolf under sheepskin. Okay, so the archetype for covert narcissists in the Bible is they are the scorpions. They are the scorpions. Specifically, can be found in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 6. The Son of Man, do not fear them, or the words, don't be afraid, even though their threats surround you like nettles and briars, and stinging scorpions. Do not be dismayed by their dark scowls, even though they are rebels. Meaning, they are associated to the scorpions because their way of attacking people is not in front, but it is from the back, using their tails. Unlike the overt narcissist as a snake, they're going to attack you in front, right in front of you, using the fang in their mouth. However, the covert narcissist is not going to attack you right in front of you. Their way of attacking you is hidden. It is from their back, using the venom of their tails. Okay, so you cannot easily detect the attacks of these covert narcissists because it is hidden. It can be found, the venom can be found on their tails. So their way of attacking you is from their back. However, in this verse, children of God, do not fear, do not be afraid from the words hurled from them. Do not be afraid even though their threat surrounds you, like nettles and briars and the stinging scorpions. Do not be dismayed by their dark scowls, even though they are rebels. Do not be afraid because God is with you. No weapon formed against us all shall prosper. And another verse, particularly from the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19. It says there, "Look, I have given you authority over all power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. Nothing will injure you." Wow. At least, even though you know these covert narcissists, at least here is the promise from the Bible that God has given you the authority and power over the enemy. Given you the authority over all the power of the enemy. Take note of all, meaning all kinds of attacks from the enemy. You can walk among all these snakes, which are the overt narcissists, and scorpions, which are the covert narcissists, and crush them. Nothing will injure you because one of his promises that God will never leave you nor forsake you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It is good. Okay, so the living examples of covert narcissists from the Bible is King Saul. Do you know him? King Saul started as humble and insecure, even hiding when he was chosen as a king. Even if he is a king, he has still a feeling or a sense of insecurity from other people. Just like David, although he is the king, however, he felt insecurity or he was threatened in the presence of David. He became jealous and threatened by David because of his thoughts, evil thought that David might overpower him or dethrone him in his kingdom. So he showed envy, the fear of losing status as a king, and he showed emotional instability. He showed emotional instability because of his insecurity. And King Saul often sought validation but reacted negatively when not praised by other people. Okay? He is the kind of king that feels insecurity or threatened by the presence of David. At the same time, he is the kind of king who desperately seeks the validation from other people and reacted negatively about their criticisms toward him. He is a covert narcissist type of person because of his insecurity, even if he is a king already, and yet he needs for validation of other people. And he is a jealous king that has a silent resentment towards David. He became insecure because of his evil thoughts or victim mentality. And an example of his victim mentality is that they are taking what is mine. People might overpower me, people might dethrone me in my kingdom. Just like he was thinking about David, that David is going to, or David might dethrone him in his kingdom. That is an example of victim mentality. It is a negative thought that made them catapulted him to become an insecure king. That definitely he became a covert narcissist. Another type of narcissist, which is the worst among other type of narcissists. This is the worst among them, which is malignant narcissism. The malignant narcissists are the severe, the very toxic combination of narcissism and antisocial behavior. Meaning, they are the kind of narcissists who are psychopath, sociopath. They go beyond toxicity. Okay? They are very, very manipulative. They are paranoid and shown as sadistic. And because they are sadistic, they do not have feelings. They do not have care. They do not have empathy or passion nor mercy for people. These malignant narcissists are taking pleasure in others' distress. If they know that you are suffering right now, they would be happy for you. They are taking pleasures about other people's distress. So, the archetype for this kind of narcissist from the Bible can be found in the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 12. It says there that, "Then the Lord said to Moses, raise your hand over the land of Egypt to bring on the locusts. Let them cover the land and devour every plant that survived the hailstorm." Meaning to say, the malignant narcissist, as the severe type of narcissist, they are compared to the locusts, because the locusts are very dangerous to the field, very dangerous to the plants. If they're going to devour the plants, nothing will be left. It's all destroyed. Being a malignant type of narcissist, everybody would know that their intention is to kill, steal, and destroy. Meaning, nobody can deny it. It is already conspicuous regarding their toxicity. Just like the locust. If people knows that there is a locust in the field, then what would comes to their mind is that their plants, their crops will definitely be totally be destroyed because of the evil mechanism of the locust. So that's how worse the malignant narcissists are. And another verse can be found in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 38. It says there, "You will plant much but harvest little, for locusts will eat your crops." Okay, so it is clearly stated that the malignant narcissist, as the locusts, are the destroyer, the killer, the destroyer, and the thief. If you plant a crop, a flower, or something today, tomorrow you will harvest very little because of the locust's evil mechanisms. For their job, their tasks are to kill, steal, and destroy. That is something that makes them a severe type of narcissist. Okay? And the living examples of malignant narcissists from the Bible are the King Herod and Queen Jezebel. King Herod is a living example of a malignant narcissist because he ordered the killing of innocent babies. That incident was called as the Massacre of the Innocents because he wants to eliminate a perceived rival who is Jesus. Because according to the prophecy that there will be a chosen son who will reign as a king. So he was threatened in that prophecy. So what he did is he ordered the killing of innocent male babies, only the male babies. He wants all of them to be killed so that prophesied male baby won't be able to dethrone him soon, because he does not want anybody to overpower him in his kingdom. So he is a malignant narcissist because he does not have mercy for these male babies to be killed. He wants them all to be killed because he does not want that prophesied male to dethrone him in his kingdom. King Herod is a malignant narcissist because he was driven by paranoia, power, and self-preservation. Self-preservation in the sense that he does not want anybody to overpower him as a king in his kingdom. And he shows the traits of cruelty. He does not have empathy. He lacks empathy, no mercy. And he shows obsession with control and power. Another malignant narcissist from the Bible is the Queen Jezebel. Queen Jezebel is a malignant narcissist because she manipulated her husband, called King Ahab, and orchestrated the killing of Naboth to seize his vineyard. He is a malignant narcissist because he ordered to kill Naboth for the purpose of seizing his vineyard. And he displayed manipulation, entitlement as a queen, and lack of remorse. He does not have mercy about the death of Naboth. And he is often seen as a symbol of toxic influence and domination. As a matter of fact, there is one of the spell work which is called as sending Jezebel spirits to the target. Sending Jezebel spirits to the target is a kind of spell work, which means that if you do that kind of ritual, the target will be controlled, just like how Queen Jezebel controlled a person, just like how she controlled her husband. Okay? So, if you are feeling like you cannot do what you want to do, and you are doing something else instead, meaning you are under the spell work, which is called as sending Jezebel's spirit kind of spell. So again, we have three different types of narcissists. The first is the overt, the second is the covert. The overt, again, overt narcissists are the overly confident narcissist. The covert are, which is the second type, they are the covered wolf under sheepskin. And the malignant, which is very toxic. The third type of narcissist is the malignant. Malignant because they are severe type of narcissist. Okay, so I hope I clearly explained to you the different types of narcissists. See you in the next session. Bye for now. Love and light.